Hey, welcome back, traders. We are nearing the end of my 2024 backtesting series. So we are going to be backtesting one more week. This is going to be December the 23rd through the 27th. We're going to hit Christmas in the middle of the week. So I'm expecting this week to be kind of quiet, maybe more consolidation, not like dramatic moves in one way or the other. But taking a look at the daily chart right now, we can see we had a big drop off last week, and then we've returned back into this fair value gap. And also that was a volume balance from the previous week, a new week opening gap. So going into this week, I am having a bearish bias. I will want to see price use this fair value gap and push price down for the sell side below the swing low and these equal lows right here. We may eventually go into these lows and back into this weekly volume balance, but I don't really want to expect too much because it is a holiday week. We are getting to the end of the year as well. So short-term target, basically going to be looking at this swing low. Keep in mind, we do have a fair value gap here that we did bounce off of. So let me go ahead and adjust this just to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'm looking at this fair value gap. We came down, we bounced off of it. So we may be in a consolidation between this volume imbalance and this daily fair value gap. So we could just be consolidating somewhere around here. So any kind of trades I take is going to be kind of short-lived, just looking for short-term highs and lows, not really looking for price to push out into like a trending market at this time. All right, so this is Monday, December the 23rd, 8 o'clock in the morning, and looking at the price action on the 1 hour right now, we did rally up from this daily fair value gap, and we're kind of consolidating here right below the new week opening gap, or the volume imbalance, whatever you want to call it. I'll just start calling it a volume balance so we don't get too confused. But anyways, looking at the pre-market session here, we do have Friday's high that has the buy side, and we do have the low right here for the sell side. I'll go ahead and mark it in. Take note of this 1 hour fair value gap right underneath the swing low. So I think this is a prime target. I think price will really want to draw into this inefficiency. Whether or not we do it before we hit this buy side, well, that's going to determine whether I take a short or if I take a long. So quickly looking at the 15-minute, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the buy side a little bit, because on the 15-minute, I see this little swing high here, and also this curve. You can see it's making relative equal highs. So this way it'd be a little bit more accurate. Remember, I do not really want to think that the market's going to go way high or way low. It's basically, I'm not thinking the market is going to expand dramatically in one direction or the other. So I think we're going to be pretty much consolidating between the purple volume imbalance and the green daily BISC. So with that in mind, I'm just basically going to be looking at the buy side target up here and the sell side target down here. If both of them gets taken, then I don't have any targets for today, and I'm pretty much going to be done for the day. Okay, so now on the 5-minute chart, a little bit after 8:30, noting one more thing here. We have a small volume imbalance. This is going to be the new week opening gap for this week, and you can see how price just went above it right here. So we do have some sell side liquidity at 8:30. It looks like we are dropping. I think we're going to be dropping for this volume imbalance. We'll see whether or not we go for this low and do go into that 1 hour fair value gap. If we do, then I guess I can go for longs. If we have a reversal, we can go for longs, take a partial up here, and then of course the target is going to be these relative equal highs. But that's only going to be if we go into this 1 hour fair value gap. If we just take this low and then we start heading up for the buy side first, after that I'll be looking for shorts going back into this 1 hour fair value gap. So basically going to see what happens leading up to 9:30. All right, so it's just before 9:30 here. You can see that we did take out the first short-term sell side, went into that small new week opening gap for this week, and then we created a fair value gap to the upside. We created a BISC, we came back into it, and it looks like we are using it as support. We may be creating a confirmation fair value gap here at 9:30. If we do, I can go ahead and try for a long, aiming for this high, of course, and of course we do have some buy side above here. We could try for a partial there as well. So let's go ahead and see what 9:30 does. Okay, so already went up for the short-term buy side. That's not ideal. I would have liked to see this fair value gap first, like get traded back into before we take out the buy side. But now that we're taking out the buy side, I'm not interested in going long on this. But if we do come back down and use it again as support and create another fair value gap, I'll use that second confirmation fair value gap to go for a long. But this could very well just go down for the sell side now. So pretty much just in another waiting period here, just to let price tell me exactly what it wants to do. So it did trade all the way back down here into this fair value gap. And you know, being Monday of the holiday week, we could get a little bit of choppy action, seek and destroy, whatever you want to call it. But we look like we are very choppy here. So I'm going to give this a little bit more time. And we did go for the sell side, went into that 1 hour fair value gap. Okay, so now this is the plan. Since we've taken out the sell side multiple times and we went back into the 1 hour fair value gap, now I'm definitely looking for buy side targets. I'm looking for price to displace the upside here. And I'm going to take note of this fair value gap. I want to see this used as inversion, meaning I want to see price trade through it to the upside and then use it as support. So you can see this is a SIBI, right? Fair value gap to the downside. Okay, you can see we had this drop and create this fair value gap. But now I want to see it used as inversion. So I want to see price trade above it and then use it as support. So normally it will be used as resistance, but now I'm wanting to see it get traded through and used as support. So right now you can see we're kind of consolidating below it. So it does look like it's used as resistance at the moment right now. If we start displacing lower from here, let's see if we do have, I guess we could try to go for this low, but I'm not really going to be that bearish until we start going down below this 1 hour fair value gap. The higher time frame bias is bearish. So I do like that direction better than longs, but right now we could be going into a short-term retracement. So just want to give this a little bit more time. Really want to pay attention to this fair value gap. Is it going to get traded through? So it does get traded through, but we don't have any fair value gaps. So I'm just going to give this a little bit more time. It could just be very choppy and consolidate here. Okay, so there we go. We did trade through it. This could be a fair value gap. I don't exactly want to take the very first one, right? I kind of want to see a price come down into this this inversion fair value gap and use it as support. So even though we have a fair value gap here, I'm not anticipating this to, well, we'll gotta see how this candle develops first of all, right? I'm not anticipating this to remain intact. But let's go ahead and see. It's getting kind of close. Only about 1 hour left now. It's 11:15. So we do have a fair value gap here. I guess if I zoom in, did we tap into it? So here, looks like we created relative equal. We created equal lows. So if you try taking that, you may or may not get, you know, executed on. But I'm just kind of waiting. I feel like, you know, time is getting close to lunchtime, so we may just have some more consolidation here, but it does look like we're rallying now. Kind of want to take this fair value gap, right? See if we can go for the buy side before lunch. If I do take it though, just gonna go small, just gonna go with one contract, even though it is like a 50-point range. So we'll give it a shot with just one contract. But if we don't get in on the next, like, you know what? It's so close to the end of my time window. I'm not even gonna go for this. I'm just gonna wait and see what it does. Okay, so because also another thing is we did take out these highs already. So, you know, I don't like to take longs if the buy side is already taken. So we did end up coming back to this fair value gap. We'll see how it looks at the end of the day. Did this hold up, or are we going down further? So if we do go down further, I expect us to trade back into that 1 hour fair value gap. So it did use as a support. So this was actually a good trade. It's just, it was at the end of my time window, so I was already pretty much done for the day. But as you can see, we did use this as support. The action's not that great, very choppy, but we slowly chopped up into the buy side target, those relative equal highs. And by this time, if I was in it by 2 o'clock, once we hit it and we went back into the volume imbalance, I would be done. I would not really want to be in any longer. And as you can see, the price action here, we pretty much just drop back down and then consolidated. So yeah, well, let's go ahead and move on to the next day on the 1 hour chart, see what we can see for our buy side sell side target. Now it is also Christmas Eve, is the day before Christmas, so I think this may just be a half day. And looking at the 1 hour here, the sell side is going to be this swing low, and the buy side is above here. This was the previous buy side target, but I didn't want to use it, right? Because I told you that I'm expecting price to be pretty choppy, a lot of consolidation, and being a holiday week, I don't think it's don't move around a lot. And even though the sell side all the way down here, we do have some consolidation here. So I'll actually mark out some short-term sell side here, maybe even like, you know, over here. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the 5 minute. And yeah, I mean, I can see like this swing low and this one already relative equal lows here. So yeah, we'll mark that out. You know, I don't know if I want to trade today because being the day before Christmas, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. There's a really tight range here. So we do have buy side up here and sell side here. I think if both of these get taken, I don't really have any more interest in the market for today. But let's go ahead and walk it through 8:30, 9:30, see what's going to happen. I think the buy side will get taken first. And if we start going down, I mean, I like to align with the higher time frame. So I'm looking for displacement to the downside. Let's see what 9:30 gives us. We do start displacing, and let me go ahead and change this because already taken out the buy side. Okay, 9:30 here. We're getting some choppy action. I think if we could take out the high one more time. Okay, the fair value gap looks like it was being used as support. We are getting a pretty big rally here, so we could go for the sell side, aim for the target. That is quite a lot of range, but just gotta wait for confirmation. I'm not interested in taking any longs because we've hit our intermediate time frame buy side liquidity. So let's get into 11 o'clock here. You can see the action is not that great after this initial rally, but I think we could just be consolidating in this volume imbalance. We are kind of making our way towards the upper part of that volume imbalance, but it's 11:30, getting very close to 12 o'clock. I think today may be another no trade day. So just waiting here, and there we have it. Pretty much just this initial rally, consolidate a little bit, and then slowly grind it up with some consolidation here. And let's take a look at the end of the day. Going to be skipping Wednesday. It's a Christmas day. There's really no reason to hang around. So as you can see, pretty much just consolidation, and then we closed early because it is Christmas Eve. So it's just going to be a half day anyways. And we'll skip over Christmas, go to Thursday. The day after a holiday, also not that great. You know, sometimes it could be good because there could be a lot of pending orders that didn't get executed, or people want to execute orders after Christmas. Maybe they got some money during Christmas and they're putting it into the market, whatever reason. But I will usually say the day after a holiday, it's usually not that great because, well, people are probably still getting into the groove and not really betting a whole bunch. But on the 1 hour chart here, we have buy side above here. We did trade through the volume imbalance, so and we're kind of like in the upper half of it. So we could have a rally up higher. If we do, I don't know. I guess we'll have to aim for all-time highs. But with this big move right here, I feel like we're just kind of rising up into it in order for another big drop down to the downside. You take a Fibonacci from, let's say the high was here, right? That was kind of the start all the way down to the bottom of this drop. You can see that the optimal trade entry, or, you know, basically 62 to 79% right here, we've retraced back up to it, and we started having a big reaction here as well. So we could just be retracing for the past few days just to get up to this point. And then we may have a big drop, and then we do have relative equal lows down here. So that's kind of my idea. I'm looking for shorts. going into it. We do have a fair value gap here on the 1 hour. Go ahead and draw this out. Okay, and then let's jump down to a 15-minute. So this is the 1 hour fair value gap. On the 15-minute, I'm not really seeing much. I mean, I guess we have short-term sell side down here, but I think if we go down here, we're starting to displace lower. We're going to be coming down for probably the consolidation here. So I'm going to mark this out once again, the sell side below this consolidation. And then let's go down to a 5 minutes, see where we're at here. I want to see price go into this 1 hour fair value gap and then start seeing displacement lower. So let's check out 8:30 and see if 8:30 or 9:30 will do just that. A lot of consolidation here pre-market. You know, the day after a holiday, I'm expecting not much, but 9:30 definitely gonna get some volatility. I think I want to see a rise up into that fair value gap on the, I believe it was the 1 hour. Yes, a 1 hour fair value gap. And now I want to see displacement to the downside. We have this fair value gap here. Am I going to take that one? Well, I could. I very well could. And looking at the risk here, I will have my risk up here. And my entry would be here because this candle is not done forming yet. We don't necessarily have a fair value gap here. So this is going to be about 40 points of risk. I'll go ahead and try for this one contract, expecting price to go lower. Just one contract though. And we could very well be going for the highs. You know, just so you guys know, we could just be taking out the buy side and then take out the sell side, and then we're going to rally with no buy side impeding our movement. But I'm going to go ahead and bet on the higher time frame bias with this big drop here. I'm thinking we're going to be going down probably for here, maybe here if we get lucky. And if we do get down here for this sell side, I will be pretty much done for the day. So let's go ahead and see if we get tapped in. Now, are we going to get stopped out? Are we going to go up higher? We very well could, right? I mean, because we just barely tapped into the fair value gap. You can see we do have relative equal highs now that I'm looking at it. It's not necessarily that great. Maybe I should have waited for a confirmation fair value gap, because it does look like it wants to go up for these relative equal highs and then maybe go lower. So I think maybe I was in a little bit too early here. Probably going to get stopped out, and then we'll see. Here we go. There's a stop out. I'll record it in a little bit, but I think we're going to take these relative equal highs, and now we can drop. So now if I start seeing a fair value gap to the downside, I will want to go short in that. But giving it some time, looks like it does want to go and revisit this 1 hour SIBI a little bit more, going to about 50%. And then here we go. We have a drop here, but I'm not wanting to take the very first one. Actually, let me go ahead and record the first stop loss, and then we'll revisit this in a little bit. Okay, so here is the loss for today. We have been on a pretty long losing streak, actually. All these greens though, not very much. I mean, this was pretty much our only win in the past like month or so, couple months probably, and we have a very big win there. But yeah, anyways, yeah, on a losing streak. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart again. So if I were to enter into this right away, I would have my stop up here, and my entry would be, well, potentially this fair value gap, right? I mean, it's not formed yet, but potentially this could be a trade like right here, my short entry with my stop loss. But I'm going to go ahead and give it some more time, see if the fair value gap forms. And even if it does, I want to wait for a confirmation fair value gap. Because, you know, holiday week, I don't want to really trust it right away. It could be very choppy, and we could just like whipsaw up for another high. So just waiting for a confirmation fair value gap, a confirmation SIBIs. And as you can see, I didn't want to take it. I want to wait for confirmation here. We are digging back up into this 1 hour fair value gap. And I'm looking at the time now. In my time window is over. We may be going up for these highs up here now that we are trading above this 1 hour SIBI. So let's take a look at the end of the day, see if that happened. Okay, and no, it did not. We did poke our head above the 1 hour fair value gap, but then we pretty much just consolidate in it, and you know, now we're leaving it to the downside. I think with this consolidation, it's probably done with this inefficiency. So we may be going lower going into tomorrow. So I'll be looking for shorts tomorrow, probably for this low for my first partial, and then looking for the sell side below this consolidation. So here we go, last day of the week. Let's take a look at the pre-market action on the 1 hour chart. Pretty much just consolidation here, but you see we're consolidating below this 1 hour fair value gap. So this is telling me that we went up to balance this inefficiency and we're done balancing it out. So now we are going to be ready to head lower. Going for a 15-minute chart here. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't want to distract my eyes thinking we're going to go higher. I think we're done with this inefficiency. And looking for short-term buy side, we do have a little bit here. There is this inefficiency here right below this 1 hour. So I'll just keep that in mind. And other than that, I'm not really seeing much. So let's go ahead and walk it through on the 5-minute. I want to first see initial rally up for the buy side and then see displacement. But we are getting displacement now, which I guess is okay because you can see this rally at 7 o'clock. We took out the buy side above this high. So we kind of already have the buy side sweep. And now we're kind of going lower. Now it is only 8 minutes after 8:30. So I'm going to give this a little bit more time. If anything, I want to get a little bit closer to 9:30, and I'm still hopeful that we could come and take out the buy side up here, go back into this inefficiency. So just going to wait, maybe 9:30. Okay, so now I'm getting confirmation though. So with this initial, this right here swept the buy side. Then we started having displacement here. This was the first one. Then we had to run through it. We came back into it and we're getting confirmation once again. I don't really want to see this sell side get taken just yet. I want to see a price retrace back into one of these fair value gaps. So if I look a little bit closer, if I have an entry here, I'll have my stop above this order block. And if this second fair value gap forms, I could take an entry here. And I want to see price dive down fast. So I'm not looking for just this sell side. You go back to the 1 hour. I'm looking for price to dive down into this consolidation, maybe even go back to this 1 hour fair value gap. That's kind of the idea. Like if you look over here, we do have a 1 hour busy. So it could be holding support. That's the only downside of my idea right now. But we'll take a shot at this. Looks like 27 points. I could take 2 contracts, but I'm just gonna be a little conservative. We've been on a losing streak. Let's just go ahead and take 1 contract and see if our idea works. So you can see the fair value gap. I'm not entered because the fair value gap did close a little bit higher. So I would have my entry here. Still 1 contract. I don't want to see this buy side get swept just yet, or I mean the sell side there. And let's go ahead. It's getting close to 9:30. Can we get 1 more pop up for my entry? No, it is going straight down. So this right here was a nice entry. I should have seen the buy side sweep here, and then we had a fair value gap and it confirmed it. This was the confirmation fair value gap here that we rallied into at 9 o'clock. That was the one I probably should have taken. So maybe it was just drawing this buy side threw me off. Like I'm thinking like it needs to go above there, but no, it already went above. We had our buy side sweep. Anyways, if we don't take out the sell side target down there, we could have some retracement, and then I would like to get in short, just so you know that once again, this is going to be the consolidation below here, but I think we could even come down here to this buy side, or I mean this sell side right here. I'll make it thicker, but once we take this one out, I'm done. I'm not really looking for much more after that. All right, so we do have this really large fair value gap here. I don't think I can enter at the low and have my risk at the high. I think that may be a little bit too much risk here. So this would be almost like 80 points of risk. What I could do is go 50% of this fair value gap. So I could look for price to come up to, let's say, half of this fair value gap and maybe try to take an entry here. That will put at 818. So yeah, that would be like maybe 50 points of risk. So I will have an entry here because I'm managing the risk, right? I don't want to be risking 80 points right now. So one contract here, stop loss up there. Let's see if we can get tapped it before the sell side gets run through. All right, it did run through the sell side. That's okay. We have a fair value gap here. I'm expecting that to get taken out, like traded through. And I still got my entry up here at 50% of this fair value gap. We'll still keep it. All right, I think price could go down lower, but I'm waiting actually for a confirmation fair value gap, like right here. Now I'm going to take this off and I'm going to go ahead and enter a little bit lower. So I'm looking for price to come back into, I'm anticipating this to be a fair value gap, but I'll have my stop, let's say at the high of this order block, and then get rid of this. And if I think I may still want to try 50% here or close to it. So let's see what the price here is. So from 62 or 652 to that is going to be 80 points of risk, quite a lot, but I expect price can come down there. So I'll take one contract here. Let's see if we can even get tapped in first of all. It looks like it may just be running away here. It may just be a big drop. Even taking a fair value gap here was okay. I don't know where your risk would have been though. So let's just take a look at it real quick. Let's suppose you enter here at 741. I would think your risk would have to be at least above this fair value gap. So that would be like 100 points of risk. We've had a lot of movement, so I'm thinking I'm done for today. Unless we get some retracement back and then we have another setup. I think we're just going to drop straight down for the sell side. It's okay. We are getting a little bit of retracement, but I'm not ready to just enter as soon as we go back into it. I want to see another fair value gap here. And we do get it, but I don't like how we didn't come back into this inefficiency. We stopped right below it. So this makes me feel like this is kind of like manipulation here. It's setting up a trap. It's going to run through it back into this inefficiency. That's kind of what I'm thinking. If we do get confirmation after we run through it, like right here, and we go into this inefficiency, now if we get a SIBI, I will be more willing to take it going for the downside. So this could potentially be a trade here. So if I have my stop up here, and if this fair value gap remains intact, I will have a short entry down here. And there is a possibility we could go higher back into this inefficiency, right? So I don't exactly want to go big size. And consider this is already about 50 points. Not like I can go big. I'm only going to be able to take one contract. But it looks like it's running away without me. I still have my entry there. If we can get a quick pop up there, I will get in. But we've already made new low of the day. And it's already, actually, now that I look at the time, it's already past my time window right here at 12:15, making new lows of the day. So I'm done for today, but it kind of played out. I just wasn't able to get in with a good risk to reward. Like, I mean, you had to get in like here, and then the risk was like 100 points, I would think. The best time, of course, was to get in pre-market around 9 o'clock once we go into this fair value gap. But I missed it, and once we started running, I tried getting in, but I didn't really want to chase it. So anyways, just before you guys go, here's one little gem for you guys. So this is not the only model that you could be trading, right? On a particularly weak day or a particularly strong day, you could be using a different model, like using a change in the state delivery. So for example, you can see this up candle here, and we've traded back into the SIBI. You can anticipate that this is going to run down lower for the sell side target on this first one. Of course, like I was saying, it could run higher into here. So you don't really want to be taking a short here. All right, you don't want to be taking a short there. So what you can do is you can actually anticipate a change in the state delivery. So have your entry on a stop below this low or below the body, right? So you're anticipating this up candle to be a bearish order block. You think price is going to run through it, displace lower, and if that happens, you can have a change in state delivery. You enter short here on a stop, and then you can just have your risk your stop loss above this up candle, anticipating this to become an order block. And this would give you about 50 points of risk. So rather than having the 100 points of risk, you can try and trade this like this for a 50-point risk. However, that's not the model I'm using. This is just a little gem for you guys for sticking with me for so long. But yeah, that's something you can try to do. And of course, I will encourage you to back test this before going in with real money. Anytime you hear somebody give you a strategy or whatever, always back test it for yourself. You may not be reading the price action the same way that person is. So even though it works for them, it may not work for you. So always back test it. And that's also one more thing I'm going to leave you with is that I have been doing this backtesting series on 2024 using my particular model here, but that may not work for you even if I do find some success. So even if you see the results the next video and I give you positive feedback, do not use my model. Go back test it for yourself before you decide to put in some real money. All right, that's what I'm going to leave you guys with this time. Thank you so much for joining me once again for a backtesting session of 2024. Next time, there's going to be 2 more days left. I will go ahead and backtest that, and then I'll give you the results from my data. And until I see you guys next time, safe trading.